The man never expected that the killing move he was so proud of would be easily blocked by a human he once looked down on. Raymond refused to believe it, so Jack simply let him slash away until he was satisfied. From then on, no matter how Raymond attacked, Jack didn't dodge. Raymond struck freely, but every hit dealt 0 damage. Then, with just a slight wave of his hand, Jack shattered the treasured sacred sword of the elves. That broke Raymond completely. In his understanding, the sacred sword was indestructible, yet the truth was right before his eyes. Logically, during this time, Raymond had slaughtered countless humans in this area. Jack really wanted to kill him outright, but because he still needed to extract information about the Supreme One from him, he held back from delivering a fatal blow and decided to capture him alive. Jack casually drew a card, and in an instant they were teleported thousands of miles away to the deepest layer of a dungeon. Raymond thought he was dreaming. Forget the teleportation. When he heard this historically most dangerous dungeon was Jack's headquarters, he finally understood what kind of opponent he had provoked. The subordinates stationed here immediately sensed Jack's arrival. These 4 were the strongest among Jack's followers. Following Jack's orders, they began extracting information about the Supreme One from the 2 captives. Upon learning that the 2 had killed many humans for experimentation, the 4 women already knew how to proceed. They didn't need to consider the captives' survival. As long as they obtained information about the Supreme One, using forbidden methods was acceptable. The pressure from the 4 women was unlike anything the captives had ever felt. Only then did they realize they were completely out of their league. While his subordinates applied extreme measures, Jack returned to the Adventurers Guild. Although Raymond, the adventurer killer, had been dealt with, Jack didn't want to draw too much attention for his future revenge plans. He simply provided clues about encountering the murderer in the dungeon. Combined with his impressive performance so far, his adventurer rank was raised to C. As for the adventurer party saved from Raymond, their outcome was realistic. Since only the 2 of them survived, they decided to quit being adventurers and return to their hometown to start over. But perhaps that wasn't a bad thing for them. Soon, the results of Raymond's interrogation came out. Using forbidden magic, they scoured all his memories and cross-checked them repeatedly. In the end, they reached one conclusion. The so-called Supreme One was terrifying, with power enough to destroy the world single-handedly, and Raymond was merely one of the Supreme One's countless descendants. There were many others like him. The entire White Knight Order he once belonged to consisted of so-called sub-supremes. That was all the valuable information they obtained. It was worth noting there was one more piece of information. The revenge plan against the elf Sasha was now ready. She was one of the teammates who had abandoned Jack, and also Jack's former fiancée. Revenge against her was the main event, so Jack's next moves were clear. First, take down the White Knight Order and continue extracting information about the Supreme One from them. Second, carry out revenge against Sasha. Interestingly, during the 3 years they were apart, Sasha had found another fiancé, who happened, quite conveniently, to be the vice captain of the White Knight Order. It was a perfect 2-for-1 deal.